I don't like abuse.
Wow, taking a strong stance against abuse.
I don't like abuse, but I don't like when people are bullies. It's
Wow,
tough.
bestie snapped, can I say?
Bestie, I'm really getting passionate and enraged on this YouTube
With
video.
these controversial topics too. Like,
I know.
you
I'm
could
gonna
even
get a
agree
lot
with
of
me on
hate.
that. And also, you're the first to think about it, which is crazy. How does it feel to be the first person to ever address the problem of bullying?
Feels pretty good. Welcome back to Rated PG. My name is Emma.
And I am local cryptid May.
And we watched It Chapter 2.
You want to just get this out of the way right off the top?
Let's do it.
The rage I felt, the disgust I felt. And the problem is, it starts out with this scene of a gay guy getting killed, horrendous, awful in every conceivable way, a mess. And then it's just like never acknowledged again, pretty much for the rest of the movie. So it's purely in there for some early on shock value.
It starts off as a hate crime and ends as an extremely boring movie. The rest of the movie, when it's not scary, reminds me of a white savior film in the way it's in
I agree with
just
that.
the tone. Like it reminds me of like The Blind Side in the cinematography. Um, no hate to Sandra Bullock. I love her.
This is a 3 hour movie, and it's so much of nothing. Nothing occurs.
Yeah. This movie could have easily been a video game and I would have enjoyed it significantly more.
Yeah, I would have forgiven a lot of the just lack of story or in-depth characterization or anything that occurs. Nothing happens. It's just a lot of scary encounters. That would have been fine if it was a game because it never stops. It's 3 hours of unrelenting jump scares and bad things happening. You
Yeah.
know, there's almost no respite. I mean, when there are jokes and things like that, you just cling to them with your whole soul. You're like, please let this be a scene. And then it isn't. I actually had a weird encounter on the subway.
Do tell.
A guy was standing there holding onto the bar. So it's a bunch of sitting people, me on one side of the subway car, this guy on the other side of the subway car. And I looked at him, and we're wearing masks. And he just looked at me with this insane look in his eye. Nothing seemed off about him prior to this, but he looked at me in the most terrifying way, like the old woman in this movie, Mrs. Kirsch.
Oh, God.
It was very Mrs. Kirsch-esque. The subway stops. We haven't gotten to my stop yet. He gets out, goes into a different train car on the same subway, and it continues. I think it was Pennywise, is what I'm trying to say.
I think it was Pennywise. I think he came to you in the subway and he just kind of was like, I don't have the time for this one.
Yeah. Well, he could tell that I was not scared of him.
Now, shall we get into it?
Yeah. Now the show starts.
Now the show starts. Everybody buckle in. Get your snacks. All right. The 5 elements of horror, or also known as our 5 elements of horror.
I fully forgot the structure of this show, and I forgot we had these.
Number 1 being jump scares out of 5 candy corns. There were jump scares. There were a lot, but did they scare me? No.
Well, the jump scares didn't stop. There was not there. It wasn't that there were jump scares. It was that there was jump scare. The movie was jump scare. So on the one hand, 5 out of 5. But on the other, if you've crafted your movie in such a way that I'm desensitized from all the jump scares from the first moment.
Yeah, they weren't effective jump scares after a while. So I would give it almost like a 2.
I was gonna say 2. You get a 2. You did too many. The 2 is TOO.
TOO jump scares.
Too many.
Yes. I love that.
You've gone too far.
How much gore out of 5 knives? I would give this a 5 because it was effective gore for me because there were a lot of
Yeah.
moments I had to look away and just be like, I can't do this.
Definitely the moment where Eddie gets stabbed in the face. I didn't see that coming in the least. I thought
No.
that was great gore, really good use of gore. Hated it, but in a good way. But then things like when Bev is in the bathroom stall and it's filling with blood.
Yeah. That was yeah.
Snooze fest.
I was like, I didn't know we were in Carrie.
I would do a 4. I wouldn't give it a 5 because
Okay.
enough gore was totally not effective for me that I can't give it the full 5.
Okay. How many laughs out of 5 pumpkins?
Precious few, can I say? Precious
I
few.
I'd give it a 1. There weren't really any laughs in this
I
one. There
think
were
I
a
would give it a
few.
2.
Okay.
Perhaps because I just it's aspirational. It's an aspirational 2.
Bill Hader's casting alone gives it that too.
Yeah. And there were also some moments when I laughed sort of because it was creepy, or you know how you laugh in spite of yourself
Like
sometimes.
the old woman dancing naked.
Quick shout out to Joan Gregson, a phenomenal actor playing Mrs. Kirsch. I want to
Yeah.
actually talk about that scene very quickly because that scene was in the first trailer for this movie that came
It
out.
was.
I watched that trailer and was spooked by it. And I really thought, wow, this is going to be a scary movie.
Yeah.
But the full reality of that scene in the context of the movie is just so watered down compared to the trailer. And then the reveal of her true witch form sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
she's been in the movie industry for, I looked at her IMDb page, it is very long, goes
Mhm.
back decades.
I love that for her. We love a working gal. How'd you like the Stephen King cameo?
Excellent.
Yeah, I
Really
did
great
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Shout out to Stephen King.
Yeah, he really needs it. He needs all the help we can give him.
How many eye rolls out of 5 Halloween masks? I'd give it a 5.
I'd give it a 5. I'd give
A
it a
lot of eye
5.
roll moments, and most of them were
Yeah.
just the excessive visuals that we did not need to see. Right after Eddie dies, they jump in the lake and they're like, Eddie would have hated this. I'm like,
Like he's
he just died.
years. They are talking about him like it's their old, dearly departed, long forgotten friend. I'm like, his blood is literally on you. It is
Yeah.
on you currently. You're washing it off. The message of this movie was like, believe, be true to yourself. I was like, did I just watch a video from Vacation Bible School? Like, what is this?
Be comfortable in being a loser.
You gotta be you. Like it was a Disney Channel original movie out of nowhere. It was giving.
Eye roll.
Yeah,
Eye roll. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
How much fun out of 5 ghosts?
The callback to the 3 doors that say scary, very scary, not scary at all. I loved it. And then there's a puppy and it's funny and there's a little bit of levity. So there were a couple fun moments, but it's so vastly outweighed.
Yeah, there's definitely some fun moments, some levity. Like I like the scene where they were in the Chinese restaurant because like they were all reuniting and there was some like banter there. Um it's just like kind of fun seeing where all these characters ended up. Like,
Yeah.
Bill being a famous writer.
Okay.
This was fun. Was the casting of Eddie's wife was very fun.
Yes. I also like the 2 seconds of Richie's stand-up comedy
Mm,
where he
yeah.
immediately messes it up enormously.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't have fun. It's like I had blips of fun
I'd
in
say
the midst of
2.
a punishing film. I'll allow
Okay.
it.
2 out of 5 goes. This brings me to a new segment on our channel. Things I could have done in the time that it takes to watch It Chapter 2. May's going to list them off in 3, 2, 1, go.
Painted the nails and toenails of everyone in my family. Gone for a really, really, really long run. Hibernated for the winter. Taken a quick snooze, then gotten up, taken a full shower, and then gone back to sleep. And I think that would have been great. Done some homework, made myself a lot of cups of coffee, screamed, cried, and made a beautiful wardrobe for myself out of leaves.
That was great. I loved that.
Thanks.
Wow. And that was things I could do in the time that it takes to watch it, chapter 2. Da 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 da. We're now going to enter into a new segment called Emma and May take an unnamed website quiz on which it character we are.
How would your BFFs describe you? Incredibly mean isn't on here. Where would you hide from Pennywise? A treehouse, a bathroom, a sewer, a carnival, a basement, or an abandoned house?
I would say a treehouse because there's enough like places to run.
Controversial, I'm going to say a carnival because you're just outside.
Yeah, if you just stay, if you float around by the admissions table, you're okay.
Yeah, you're good. Be the guy serving hot dogs, then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Make some cotton candy, have a grand old time.
And then make a little money while you're there.
Yeah. Whom star
Right.
you?
I got Ben.
I got Richie.
Hey. Don't you love how Ben's last name is Hanscom?
Yeah.
It's like foreshadowing that he's supposed to be handsome. So his last name is Hanscom. It's like a 2-year-old saying handsome.
Yeah, it really is. You actually are Eddie.
I am Eddie. Like I would easily play Eddie in like a stage play of this.
So Emma, do you have a craft?
I do have a craft.
Oh, show me your craft.
It's a mixture of Valentine's Day and Halloween.
Fun.
So it really works, especially if your anniversary is on Halloween, or if you go on a date on Halloween and you want to ask out somebody.
Okay.
But it's actually a Pennywise themed love note or Valentine's card. It's you'll float too in my heart.
That's beautiful. I think I'm gonna actually break up with George and get back together with him on Halloween, just that can be our anniversary.
I
I
think
can
so.
give him that card.
Give him
I think
this card.
it only makes sense.
It's your craft, May.
My craft is a little craft and a little prank. It's both.
Okay.
So it is based on a shining light in this movie, which is the scene in the Chinese restaurant. And you know how they solved the little fortune cookie puzzle?
Yeah.
I was very inspired by that. So a fun little craft and a prank that you can pull on your friends is to get Chinese food and then subtly remove the real fortunes from the fortune cookies and replace them with your own crafty prank fortunes. For example, hi Emma, something bad is going to happen to you specifically. That's when you can put in there. That's quite good.
Yeah.
There's the always classic Emma sucks. Pretty good stuff. I mean, imagine finding that in your fortune cookie. What are the chances?
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
Then there's you're annoying. This is about Emma. Yes, you, Emma. Pink shirt, bangs microphone. That one's pretty good. So just slip that right into.
You wrote that whole thing.
The
Yes,
fortune.
pink shirt, bangs microphone.
What do you think is the least spooky moment that's supposed to be terrifying?
Like maybe Stan's head being a
Stan's
crab.
head was where my brain went to as well. It's just like silly. I think ultimately, though, my biggest disappointment was the witch reveal. I know I mentioned it already, so that's kind of a cop out, but it really was that lame. And then the reveal was one of those wind socks that's outside of used car dealerships.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really very similar to how that felt to me.
That's exactly it. Do you have any new theories about Pennywise being the Blair Witch's significant other?
Well, I think it was rough for them because after 27 years of hibernation, he came back and was pretty much immediately killed. So that had to have been a bummer. Hard to come back from that.
But maybe she was like kind of looking for an out anyway. Like she was
Yeah, I
like
can see
filing
that.
the divorce papers.
You know, she kind of was like, my movie may be boring, but at least it's only 90 minutes.
And at least like I don't hibernate for 27 years, babe. But like you're never around.
Yeah, that's really rough on a relationship.
It really is. Like I can't imagine. I don't know what else do we want to talk about?
I have nothing left to give. to this movie.
Yeah,
was
the
a
first
lot.
movie was good. The second movie, you can skip. Anyway, this was it, chapter 2.
That's it.
That's it. It literally is.
Yeah.